in this case, and I will start from, once I'm talking, I'll cover this particular fact scenario. Okay. Um, so weekly exercise has this fact situation where Mamta Parekh has leveled allegations of sexual harassment against Dushyant Singh. Now, she has sent her written complaint to the ICC. The ICC members have accepted the complaint and sent a copy of the same to Mr. Singh. Before moving on with the formal inquiry procedure, the ICC recommended that they give a chance to conciliation as an alternative. Now, Mrs. Parekh, has been eventually convinced of taking recourse to conciliation and requested the ICC to settle the matter. Mr. Singh has agreed to cooperate. The conciliation was conducted within a week, and it was concluded with the person extending an unconditional apology. It was duly noted that the respondent will not contact the complainant in any manner unless and until there is a work-related urgency. Okay? So we are covering this fact situation. Now let me go one by one in terms of the process in this situation in itself till the conciliation part. Okay. Now, and I'll start from the very beginning. So which is something that you have covered in your previous session. Mamta Parekh has filed a written complaint. Now, written complaint has been accepted by the ICC member. Okay. Now, and the ICC has simultaneously sent a copy of the complaint to Mr. Singh. Now, here in terms of the actual process, I'm just going to add one more pointer for everyone, is that when a complaint is received from a complainant, it is crucial, and not just crucial, it is absolutely necessary step that an ICC should take is basically meet the complainant within 24 to 48 hours of receiving a complaint. The reason I'm putting the timeline is so that you can put this timeline when you are guiding an ICC or are part of the ICC. Reason being because the more the ICC delays meeting the complainant, the person who has filed the complaint can have these thoughts of going out of the organization and getting her complaint addressed. Maybe to the police station, because in her mind, there is no other recourse or there is no conversation that she is receiving from the ICC. So always something that I suggest ICCs, and I make sure that whenever I am working as a part of the ICC, I make an SOP to this regard, is receiving the complaint, acknowledging the complaint, saying that yes, we have received the complaint, etc., etc. Generic email about acknowledging the receipt of an email and setting up a first meeting. Now, the reason I'm saying the first meeting is very crucial is because if you remember the section on written complaint, which is there in the POSH Act, and let's come to that also, okay, because it will be easier for us to go through it. Complaint of sexual harassment. It says a very interesting thing. It says that when an aggrieved woman, and you can see section 9.2, when an aggrieved woman is unable to file a complaint, actually, sorry, not that. One second, where did this go? Section 9, clause 1, proviso, okay, the one that I'm highlighting right now, that if they can't make a complaint in writing, then they shall render all reasonable assistance to the woman to make a complaint in writing, the ICC. So a lot of times it happens that you have covered a scenario where a woman has filed a complaint, right? So a lot of times they don't file a complaint, which is very proper. Like, it doesn't cover the facts. Even when you read it, you'll be like, hey, what is written? So it is very important that the first meeting is done. So the ICC can go through the written complaint, see that do we see any gap? Are we not understanding or are we not clear whether it's a prima facie case? Meet the complainant, talk to her, ask her questions, preferably record the meeting, audio and video record, and ask her everything so that she is able to communicate in communication rather than if she's not able to communicate in writing. You'll find many types of complaint. Many people are very good with writing everything. Many people are not. They will better in talking. So when you record all these things, then what you can do is you can tell the complainant that we have recorded it, we'll reduce it in writing, and we'll give it back to you. Please confirm if everything is as per your explanation. Confirm it, and we'll consider this as your written complaint if you want to go forward. So I just want to point out this practical step. This is very important when we do investigation. So imagine, now I am assuming here Mamta Parekh's complaint came. She had written it properly. It showed a prima facie case of sexual harassment. ICC sent a copy to the respondent. Now, in between, now what happens? And this is why the first meetings are very important. Okay, the first meetings are very important because when we talk to the complainant, irrespective of whether she has given a proper complaint, not given a proper complaint, you have heard all the facts, is when you do all of that, you ask the complainant one question: do you want to take this investigation forward? You have filed a complaint, yes, but this does not mean that she may want to take it forward. Do you want to take it forward? Let us tell you what are the further steps here. And then you tell the complainant two steps. Most importantly, step number one, like, if we are taking the investigation forward, is there anything in the interim that you want us to do so that this inquiry process becomes a bit easier? Obviously, the person will not know what exactly are interim measures because they don't know. They are not aware of the law. You are aware of the law. So, in step one, you are going to inform the complainant in that we can offer interim, some things in interim. What are those things in interim? And I will come back to the POSH Act, okay, because that specifically puts the action during pendency of the inquiry. And if you see, it says the pendency of an inquiry in a written request. So ICC cannot do it technically till the written request from the aggrieved woman comes. But in reality, aggrieved woman will not know what are the interim measures. So that is why in the first hearing, if the woman says, yes, I want you to do the inquiry, I want ICC to take my written complaint forward, then you will tell her the next thing, that what can we do in the interim for you. If the complainant and the respondent is working in the same team, the option number one would be to remove them from the same team. Remove their reporting within the same team, because during the pendency of the inquiry, if they are working within the same team, then that can create a very disturbing or uncomfortable environment for everybody, right? Second would be that if they both need to be so basically with regards to both the people, we as an ICC need to see and that what are the interim measures that can be given. Maybe their reporting manager can be separated in the interim. Maybe if they are working in the same project, then they can be moved apart during the pendency, not forever, but during the pendency of the inquiry, they can be moved away from each other during that pendency. Third will be if the woman seems a little more agitated, okay, then you can also, ICC can say that, do you want some leave? Do you want to take some rest at home? Do you want to, whatever, take some leave? And you can tell the complainant that we can offer leave. This will be in addition to the leave that you have from the organization. And here, please remember, in interim measures is only at the request, but it's not the demand. As in, I can say I will want leave of 2 weeks as a complainant, okay? But that doesn't mean as an ICC you will grant that leave of 2 weeks. It is at the discretion of the ICC what ICC does. So it is the request that is made. For that, you have to explain to the complainant what is interim measures. Then will give a written request that that dear ICC members, I would like some measures to be taken so that I can continue my work. The written request can be very simple. She doesn't need to specify what she wants. She just needs to specify that I want some interim measures to be done by the ICC. Here, ICC will take a call depending on the relationship that is or dynamics between the complainant and the respondent. All right. So that's your interim measure. An interim measure could depend on the facts and scenarios. Okay. So even in cases like, there have been cases where ICC has ultimately, like for example, a woman is very agitated because of whatever has happened. So apart from leave, companies, and this is something that companies are doing on their own. The law does not say it. The law specifically talks about interim measure in 2-3 points only.